An entire race of lizard people living in catacombs under downtown Los Angeles. Well, that's the urban legend, and this video will be the first time anyone has gone on location to each of the downtown spots said to be connected with this underground reptilian capital. So let's take a journey. Hey Wild Ones, I'm Eric Garcia and welcome back to Wild Card Journeys. On this channel I travel around and make videos about urban legends, reported haunted activity, and unusual natural phenomena. So if this sounds like your kind of fun, then consider subscribing. Now, for decades there has been an urban legend about a race of lizard people living beneath the streets of Los Angeles. Some people swear by it, citing the works of David Icke and other stories from around the world of a lost race of reptilian people. Well, you know, let's see where LA's own urban legend began. So, our story begins and ultimately ends here at City Hall. In early 1933, a geophysicist by the name of G. Warren Shufelt, along with two other men, marched into City Hall and declared to the County Board of Supervisors that beneath the streets of Los Angeles lay the remains of a lost city built by a race of highly intelligent lizard people. According to Shufelt, several thousand years ago, a meteor shower threatened to wipe out this race of lizard people in what is now known as Arizona. So, after a mass exodus to the west, they created 3 underground cities along the Pacific coast, one of which happens to be located, you guessed it, beneath downtown LA. He further claimed that they were so technologically advanced that they had created special chemical agents to dig out tunnels and chambers for them to take refuge in and store vast amounts of treasure. As a way of providing proof to all this, Shufelt told the Board of Supervisors that not only had he created a special X-ray device to locate these tunnels, but he was also in possession of a map to the underground city given to him by a Hopi Indian named Chief Greenleaf. Now, Shufelt's claims would be a hard sell by today's standards, to be sure, but keep in mind that this was at the height of the Great Depression, and promises of hidden rooms filled with treasure was enough to sway the Board of Supervisors, who were notoriously corrupt as well. So convincing were Shufelt's stories that on February 21st, 1933, the board approved his permits to excavate with the agreement that the city would receive 50% of any discoveries he made. Now, how he went about choosing precisely where to dig was just as theatrical as the rest of his claims. You see, according to Shufelt's map, the layout of the underground city was designed to resemble the body of a giant lizard, which looks nothing like a lizard to me, but okay. Now, the head of this giant lizard city would have been located right over there. That's right, Dodger Stadium, or as it was known at the time, Chavez Ravine, a small Mexican-American community. Now, while they never actually excavated here to search for the underground city, the entire neighborhood was unfortunately leveled to the ground in order to make way for the construction of Dodger Stadium. So this was where Shufelt reported that the head of his lizard-shaped city would have been located. The tail would have ended right over there. The Los Angeles Central Library, located at the corner of 5th Street and Grand Avenue, which is just about 2 miles from Dodger Stadium. So you can see that the scope of Shufelt's story was not a small one. Now, on a side note, earlier in this video I mentioned the works of David Icke. He is an author and hardcore conspiracy theorist, mostly known for his steadfast beliefs in what he calls the Babylonian Brotherhood, a group of shape-shifting reptilian humanoids bent on driving humanity to a new world order. Now, if you're interested in looking into some of the other reptilian conspiracy theories out there, well, his are the most out there. But he does give an interesting interview. So now we've seen where the head and the tail of Shufelt's underground city would have been located. But there are 2 more places key to all of this. The next being the map room, which happens to be right over here. The old Los Angeles Times building located on 1st and Spring Street. Well, the reports had it situated either here or under Broadway just off 2nd Street. But you know how it is with subterranean lizard cities, zoning's always going to be an issue. Now, the map room was said to contain a directory to the rest of the underground city, as well as the lizard people's record tablets, which were described as 4 feet high, 14 inches wide, and of course, made of solid gold. In addition to this, the record tablets were supposed to be etched with the entire history of the Mayans, as well as the origins of humanity itself. No small feat. Now, up to this point, I've shown you where the story began, at City Hall, and all the spots that Shufelt claimed were related to his underground city. But now I'm going to take you to where they actually excavated for months to look for this city. And it just happens to be right up the street. The historic Fort Moore, located on Hill Street and Cesar Chavez. Now, Shufeldt's excavation crew dug here for months to a depth of about 250 feet. But no evidence of a subterranean city was ever found. The Board of Supervisors' impatience was growing until finally, on March 5th, 1934, all the excavation sites were filled in with dirt and the contract with the city was canceled. Warren Shufeldt lived out his remaining years peacefully in the city, and what was once a fantastic story that was covered by the LA Times and Associated Press went on to fulfill its destiny as one of the most popular urban legends of Los Angeles. Now, do I believe that there was ever lizard people here? Not really. I'm more inclined to think that maybe a lost tribe of Indians that worshipped snakes and their ceremonial garb reflected that may have passed through this area. Someone saw it, and eventually that story turned them into lizard people. I mean, after all, that was 85 years ago that they dug for an underground city in this spot. No one would do that again. Would they? And there you have it, the origin of the lizard people living under Los Angeles. And you know, even if they did turn out to be real, I mean, this is LA, we'd probably throw them a parade, like going to the Board of Supervisors. We're very progressive that way. Thank you for joining me. I'm Eric Garcia. This is Wild Card Journeys. If you enjoyed this video, hit like or comment below, share it with a friend, and if you hit that little subscribe button along with the notification bell, then you can catch my weekly videos as I travel to different places for these unusual topics. Thank you again, and we'll see you on the journey.